Hey, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to the Hanging On to Hope podcast.
I'm Brenda J.
And I'm Karen Wonder.
And we are hangingontohope.org.
This podcast is intended as educational and is not psychological or medical advice. Always consult a professional when needed, and we disclaim any liability in connection with the instruction, information, or advice given.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Hanging On to Hope podcast. This is Brenda J. Today, we're honored to welcome back Carissa Raderstorf to the show. Carissa is an ordained minister, board-certified pastoral counselor, and oversees the Reset retreats, Reset Together, and personalized coaching and intensives through Reset Ministries. She's passionate about helping people experience emotional healing, relational growth, and deeper connection with God. Carissa holds an MAE from Olivet Nazarene University and graduate certificates in counseling and executive coaching and consulting from the Townsend Institute at CUI.
So we're so excited to have you back, Carissa. Welcome back to the podcast.
Yay!
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So today we're talking about something that sounds simple, but can actually be incredibly difficult, being present with people in pain. Your podcast, Being Present, really spoke to us because so many people want to help others during hard seasons, but they don't always know what to say or do.
Continuing with part 2. So you talk a lot about emotional healing and relational growth through Reset Ministries. How does learning to be present with others also help us to grow emotionally and spiritually ourselves?
I think it's unselfish, first of all. I mean, it can be a discipline to learn how to be present. I love the language that Pete Scazzaro uses in Emotionally Healthy Relationships. He talks about incarnational listening. And for me as a Christian, I love those words because listening should be that way. Incarnation is Jesus left his world and he came into our world. And good listening is that way. I'm going to leave my world. I've got things going on in my life, or even as you're talking, that's hitting something in me or causing discomfort or anxiety or reminding me of a story. But I'm putting all of that aside right now because I'm leaving my world and I'm entering your world. So when we listen well, we're like Jesus. And he did such a beautiful job in the Gospels of bending low with the woman caught in adultery, like getting in the well with people, going to their space, listening well. And I just think it makes us like Jesus. I'm very convinced that if Christians would learn to listen well, that we could evangelize the whole world. If we would sit and listen and hear people's stories and not judge them and not try to fix and validate their pain, they'd be a whole lot more open to the truth.
Yeah, and there'd be a lot less division in our world because like social media, it's so easy to be like, you're not looking in their eyes. So people are so quick to respond. Right. And that's not helpful with the division and everything. Like you said, if we were to sit in people that we disagree with, but really look at them eye to eye and see them as human, then you're able to have a conversation, where social media makes it easy to just have those judgments rather than taking the time.
Dehumanize people when we don't know their story. We don't have time to love people. Or to judge them.
Yeah.
Well, I find myself, since I've been healing over the last 7 years, that sometimes I'm really good at listening now, where I actually will take that on so much to the point where I get a little bit nervous because after I leave them, I'm still feeling that way. Does that happen to people a lot, or am I just not emotionally healthy yet? Or
I think sometimes what happens is somebody is holding on to something really hard or heavy. And when they trust you, that's a big deal. Like if you're safe and you're present with them and they share, but it's almost like it shifts off of them onto you. Like, oh, this huge boulder I've been carrying, and it's like it shifts over to you, and now you're privy to what they've been carrying and the heaviness, so you're feeling part of that load. I think some of that's natural, but we're not meant to carry it either, so we have to just take it to the cross. Like, this is too much for me, too, Lord. I had a gal that was in a group, and she was a physical therapist, and we were talking about this concept here, and she shared this, and I thought it was so helpful. She said she worked on older patients, and it was hard because they're older, they're in a home, they pass away, you get attached, and she was always putting her hands on them. And she said one thing that helped her just leave that space and leave it at work is she would go to the bathroom and just wash her hands just as a symbol of like, I can't take this home with me. And I found myself for a while after that, after hearing hard stories of just symbolically washing my hands, not of the person, but just of like, that's not mine to hold or carry.
Right.
Well, I think as an empath, I struggle with that a lot. Like stuff stays with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a blessing and a curse because you feel more when you're empathetic like that. But then it's like you said, you can't carry it all because it's overwhelming sometimes to know some of the deep hurts that are out there and some of the awful stories or something. It's hard to let it go.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to tell myself, everything in your life is okay, because I have to like separate, because it's almost like that problem became my problem.
Right. Yeah.
So I have to learn and just give it to the Lord. And I do, because as soon as I say that to myself, I go, okay.
Yeah. It's usually
I'm holding on to their problem because I have to look at my life. Oh, okay. Everything's okay. It's kind of a strange concept, but once you start dealing with a lot of people telling you their painful stories, I noticed that about myself. So I'm glad we're covering all this.
Some of it is burden bearing, which is what we're called to do. But we're also not called to carry other people's stuff in a way that is unhealthy. I think we did a podcast together called Soul Ties. We can even get a soul tie through burden bearing. Because our souls, our mind, our will, and emotions. And if we're taking on too much of someone else's pain, our souls can get tied in a way that's just not of God either.
Okay, that's so good.
So when we go through things on our own, it makes us better equipped to be present for others. What role does empathy, talking about empathy, play in reflecting the heart of God to people who are hurting? And what is an example in the Bible of someone being present?
About being present, Mary was there for Elizabeth, I think.
Yeah. I think I was getting a little hypothetical with it, but just because Mary went and spent so much time with Elizabeth. And they both had these miracle pregnancies, but I just imagine Elizabeth being older and, of course, wiser because of years and life experience of her holding this space for Mary to process everything that she was going through because her pregnancy was so controversial. So I just imagine that in my mind of like just how beautiful it would have been to see them sit and talk and be present with one another.
Yeah, it is a beautiful example. So what are the relational nutrients that are involved in being present for other people and how they help with emotional growth? Did you want to walk us through a few of those?
Sure. Yeah. Dr. John Townsend has a book called People Fuel, and he has these 21 relational needs that he's put half into grace and half into truth. And he's also put these relational nutrients into quadrants. And the first quadrant, which is really like the building block of relationships, is called Be Present. And he's got several relational nutrients in there. And these are really based on the one another's in the Bible, like build one another up, encourage one another, forgive one another. There's dozens of these in the New Testament, especially. But some of those in the Be Present quadrant are things like acceptance. So connecting with people without judgment. Because if people feel judged at all, they're not going to talk. And talking and sharing and processing is how we grieve and how we work through things. But if people feel judged, they're not going to share. So acceptance is huge. You really can't go any further in being present with people if we don't accept them. And then another one is containment. That's a psychological term that we use for when babies are little. They throw a temper tantrum and they flail and they can hit their head. So a parent contains the child so they don't get hurt. And then they start to comfort and soothe them. But adult containment is similar. We don't wrap our arms around people, but what we're doing is providing emotional support. It's kind of like I'm holding out a bucket and I'm just allowing you to verbal vomit and I'm containing it. And the message I'm sending is I'm with you in the middle of it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm safe. And as people are sharing, that's when we start attuning, like we talked about earlier. Notice volume, frequency of words, what they're saying, the feelings behind the words, body language. And we're occasionally putting that back into the conversation. Like, I'm so sad listening to what you're saying, or I can't imagine how overwhelmed you felt. And we'll notice when we name the things that people are feeling, they kind of light up because they feel heard and understood. So they'll say things like, yeah, and then they talk and they share more, which allows us to contain more. So as we continue to contain and attune, we validate people's pain. You can even use that word. Like, I just want to validate how difficult this has been, how much you've been holding during this season. That's part of making people feel seen and heard. And as we're offering these nutrients, what happens is it eventually provides comfort to somebody. And a lot of times people eventually go, oh, I feel so much better. And we really haven't said much at all. We've just been present, we've contained, we've validated, and they feel a sense of relief.
So good.
Yeah, those are good tools. So for the listener who feels uncomfortable with emotions or doesn't know how to support someone right now, what is one simple thing they can start doing today?
I think the simplest thing is just to start pausing before responding. So when someone shares pain, we need to resist the urge to immediately fix, advise, or even spiritualize. Just slow down, take a breath, and be present. And sometimes it's just enough to say, I'm so sorry. I don't even have words. I don't know what to say, but I'm here with you. Or we can even say, do you want me to just listen, or are you wanting me to help you figure out options? That's giving the person agency and letting them choose and control how the conversation, how your time together is. But just pausing to slow down. Also just noticing what's going on in me. Is this making me really uncomfortable? Is this making me anxious? And if you're a Christian, just that reminder to yourself of, okay, just leave my world, enter into their world. But just pause before we advise, before we respond, just pause and remind yourself to just be present.
Yeah, it's like you were saying earlier about that incarnation. Like, I like that picture of that.
Yeah, everything you said is so good. I was thinking about this time when I was allowing a survivor to talk to me, and it seemed like nobody really believed their story. And I just stopped and I just said, I believe you. And there was silence on the phone call for a while. And she just started crying because I don't think anybody ever said that before.
You were validating her.
Yeah. So just very, very interesting.
And silence is so important. I'm glad you brought that up. I remember when I was in school, I had a professor, he made this comment, and it's always stuck with me. He said, silence is not interrupting what God is doing. And he was specifically talking about these moments of being present, because sometimes we can get uncomfortable with the conversation or even with the silence, and we want to fill it with words. But sometimes people are putting pieces together as they're talking. I think the statistic is 30% of people's problems can be solved if they're just attuned to, because they'll talk themselves into the answer or the decision they need to make. But when we interject or cheerlead or spiritualize, sometimes we're interrupting what the Holy Spirit is trying to do as they're processing. So silence is really important when we're being present.
Yeah, that's why I think it is so important to just let someone talk, because they are working out stuff while they're talking. And that's why therapy is so good. Because when I went to my one therapist, I swear, I think I just talked the whole time, and she'll say one sentence here and there. But that one sentence made me go, leave there and think about that all week, and then make changes because of that one thing. So.
And I think for work, because I feel that way with work, like you want to kind of gripe about your job or like unload a little bit. And it helps just to, I just feel better unloading. I remember in my previous marriage, I was griping about my job or something. And I said, I just want to quit. And he goes, you're not going to quit? Or I go, no, I just was saying that. It just made me feel good to say that. I had no intention of quitting, but just saying I'm going to quit, felt good.
Yeah. I think I've been in my marriage and other relationships after that, them just saying, I'm just dumping on them, or I can't listen to they would choose to not listen to me and ignore me and act like I was dumping on them. But I really just needed somebody to talk to. But they didn't care. Like my ex, he just did not care. He's like, you don't need to dump on me. And I was thinking, I wasn't even dumping on you. I was just talking, so I don't know if that's just that narcissistic characteristic or they just don't want to listen to you because they only care about themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. They only care about themselves probably. And finally, Carissa, what encouragement would you give to someone listening who feels alone in their pain right now? And how important is it to be part of a community? And what should this look like in the body of Christ?
I think I would say to somebody that feels alone in their pain is, first of all, I'm really sorry that you're carrying this. And even if it feels like no one sees the weight of it, your pain matters. Just like we've been talking about today, like these hard seasons, they matter. They're heavy. We're not meant to do it alone. So please don't make the mistake of feeling like you're unworthy of care. And in the past, I'm sure people have not been deserving of hearing your story. And there's that saying that what's damaged in relationships is healed in relationships. And because people have hurt us in the past, we don't get the care that we need. And so I would just encourage that person to keep looking for a safe person, because there are safe people out there. Someone who can listen without rushing you and then remind you that your pain's not too much and you don't have to walk through this alone.
That's good.
Well, thank you so much for joining us again today and for this important conversation. We appreciate the work that you and your team are doing through Reset Ministries to help people find healing, freedom, and connection.
And thank you to all of our listeners for joining us today. If this episode encouraged you, please share it with someone who may need hope and support right now. And Carissa, so you do offer these types of groups where that connection is available for them, and how can people find you and on social media?
Yeah, sure. Our website is resetministries.us. Our Instagram and Facebook are the same, resetministries.us. We have a YouTube channel as well. And we offer a conference 2 times a year in Phoenix called the Reset Retreat. And then after that, there's an aftercare program that is groups based. Very much what we're talking about today is offering being present to one another as we process our story. We offer that in the fall and spring. It's a 4-month program. And then I do one-on-one life coaching.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've been to your retreat. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. You didn't have the artist there this year?
We had them in the fall. We usually have them in the fall, but not in the spring.
Yeah, it was so great.
I got to say, I love your social media post with your dog, because I have yours is a golden doodle, right?
Yeah.
I like the last one where your dog had something like on its mouth or something.
Yeah, he's kind of our Reset mascot. He turns 2 tomorrow. So I'm sure we'll have a post tomorrow. He's got a birthday.
Is he the same age as Maple?
Yeah, Maple's, let's see, Maple will be 2 in June. Yeah, wow, they're about the same age. It's wild. Yeah, they're characters.
That's great. Oh, they're so much fun. They're like little humans.
They are.
And so then just one last question. So we probably addressed this on your other podcast, but do you take donation, or is there a charge for the counseling? How does that work? The one-on-one coaching and...
Sure. Yeah. Because we're a nonprofit ministry, we are able to do things a lot more affordable, but there is a charge. We do everything, our retreats, our groups, the coaching. There's always 3 rates. There's the standard rate, and then there's a supported rate, which is a little cheaper. And then we offer a sustainer rate for people to help pay a little more to help the supported rate. So hopefully that made sense, but you get to choose your fee, but there is a fee that is much more manageable.
All right. Perfect.
That's great.
Yeah, you would love Reset Together if you're ever able to do it. We just changed the format. So it's 4 months, but it's one immersive day once a month. So you're here from 9:30 to 3:30. So that's what I was saying. I just did 3 of those in the last 4 days.
Oh, it's like a retreat once a month, 1 day a month.
Yeah, and it's just in a group of no more than 6 people. It's like the groups feel so connected. Because we do like a life walk where you literally walk through the decades, but it's after teachings like this about being present. And so it's like the group's learning to hold each other's story. And
So are you in Scottsdale or Phoenix? Where are you again?
I'm in Phoenix. So
I wish you were closer.
I-51 in Greenway.
Okay.
So we had someone drive in yesterday from Tucson and then Saturday from Prescott.
Wow.
That's been the cool part because they just have to do it once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's definitely doable.
Well, okay. Well, thank you so much for doing this. And I think it's going to help a lot of people, because I don't even know if people know it's a thing. I didn't.
Behavior tells us that most people don't know it's a thing.
Yeah. This is going to help people be more kind to each other and be there for people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're really hoping. So
good deal. Yeah.
Your videos make me laugh every time.
I know. I like them a lot too. Very cute. Keep posting them.
I've got a gal that runs my page. She does a good job. So I'll be like, hey, this is funny. Do something with this. So I actually love seeing what she does with it because I don't always know what she's going to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good enough to do that at all.
Yeah, you have to be creative.
Yeah, I'm not that good on social media, so.
Well, it's good to see you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, good to see you too.
So the next retreat's in September?
It's in October 23, 24.
And then every month you have the intensive to join that for 4 months.
Yeah, and it's always after. So like this was week 1 of 4.
Okay.
Month 1 of 4.
I'm supposed to do Mending the Soul. That starts in June, so I'll be done with that by like the end of August. So that might be good timing.
Yeah. So it'll start Reset Together will start in November.
Okay. So I never learned how to do any of this stuff. It's all new to me because I came from an unemotional family. So I don't know about it.
Reset Together is powerful. It's about bonding and boundaries and how to communicate what you need, anticipate what other people need, but there's kind of a menu of needs and it's really good. It's like you're processing your story, but then you're also realizing the gaps in your own story and you're practicing these things on one another as you go. It's a very empathetic environment. So you're getting the things you didn't get when you were hurt or traumatized.
Yeah.
It's usually not the trauma that keeps us stuck. It's that we didn't have an empathetic presence there. And so it's like, okay, now we're adults. Like, let's talk about these things and get the nutrients that we didn't get when it happened. So it's this cool process.
Have you read any of Dan Allender's books or studied?
I just finished his level 1 training.
Really?
In March. Yeah.
I love him. That was my dream for a while. I wanted to go to his school in Seattle.
Yeah.
That was a dream that just never happened, but I love his work. I have one of his books on writing your story, which I started doing.
Yeah, he's great. I just discovered his world a year ago. So I actually am trying to, they have level 1, 2, and 3. And I put in my application for level 2 and I got accepted. I have to decide by the end of next week.
Wow.
It was really good, like for my own healing.
Yeah, I was going to do something once where there was something he offers every so often. I don't know if he still does it, where you get in a group with other people and you share your stories, kind of like what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was getting trained in, is narrative focused trauma care. They call it story work.
Yeah.
So in the certificate, you do the classes and then you go into a story work group and they make you do it exactly the way that they do for participants.
Okay.
So that is level 1 and then level 2 is you start facilitating. So
we had Kathy Lozelle, remember?
Yeah.
She was out of down. I mean, they worked together. We interviewed her on one book that she released with Dan Allender.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I don't by any stretch claim to be an expert in that. That's new to me.
That's good. You're getting into that.
Yeah, it was really helpful. I'm hoping eventually to start story work groups, but I'm just trying to figure out what that's going to look like. And because the Reset Together is more based on Townsend's work. It's not necessarily trauma focused.
Yeah.
But story work is. That's why I did it. Because inevitably when you do this type of work, you
tap into
administrating people with trauma. And I felt like I needed more training. So it was good.
I listened to his podcast. Dan Allender's got a podcast. I listen to it every so often.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
All righty.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you soon somewhere.
Okay. All right.
In a good area where we're having fun, right?
Yeah.
Not a trauma-based thing.
Yeah.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Have a good night.
Bye.
You too.
Because so many people want to help others during hard sessions, but they don't always know, or excuse me, I said hard sessions instead of hard seasoning.
And I accidentally put 2 questions together. Hold on a sec. I gotta do that over again.
Thanks for tuning in to Hanging On to Hope. Check out our website, hangingontohope.org. There are resources on there, and if you would like to donate or volunteer, you can do that through our website. We are a brand new nonprofit, so we appreciate any and all support. And we thank you for listening, and until next time, keep hanging on to hope. We are evidence that there is hope and healing for you, and our passion is to help you find it too. So thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for listening, everyone.